it's Rachel with Brutus, and today he and I are going to work on the down command. I see that eventually you want to work on roll over, but first of all, it's really important that he has a solid down before you move on to the roll over, so it doesn't confuse him by teaching them at once if he isn't really comfortable with either. So, I have him on his harness, but for the down, I'm going to hook the leash onto his collar so that it's a bit easier to guide him down. Now, I have these puzzle mats out because I'm going to be getting down on his level, and also I want a comfortable spot for him to lie down on. So, usually how we first teach the down is the first method that we go to is using a treat for bait. And so we get the dog in a sit, and then we take the treat, bring it down to their chest so their head is like this, and then we bring it down and out to bait them into a down. With that, if the treat isn't enough on its own, that's why we have the leash on the collar, and so we can kind of pull the collar down to pull their body down as well. So we'll see how he responds to that, and if he's not responding really well, we'll try something else. So Brutus, come here. Good boy. Good boy, Brutus. Sit. Off. Brutus, sit. Good, sit. Okay, so I'm going to get his collar. Where is it? Good. Sit. Sit. Good, sit. Brutus, down. Down. Good boy, down. Good down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, he is getting his head in the treat pouch. He's crafty. Okay, that was really great. So, he was following it with the treat, and instead of pulling just on the collar, he wasn't having trouble getting his front legs down, which is usually why you pull on the collar. So instead of doing that, I just went straight to lightly pressing my hand on his withers, which is his shoulder blades, kind of right where the harness is, and just gently pressing it down to encourage him to get down. Also, it happened to work out in our favor that he was kind of automatically sliding back on the mats, but however he gets into the down, that is fine with us. So, let's keep practicing. Good boy, Brutus. Down. Down. Okay. Down. Down. Alright, you can see he kind of pulls back. That's me doing it with just the leash on the collar and just controlling his head. He is responding to it for a bit, and then he pulls back because he doesn't like it. So let's try again with lightly pressing our hand on his withers. Brutus, sit. Sit. Good, sit. Good, Brutus, down. Down. Good boy, down. Good down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. Good down. Good boy, down. Yes. That was really good. Okay. So, I'm letting him lick the treat and smell it. He almost has it in his grasp, but I don't actually let him have it until he's fully in the down. Now, what I like to do is once he is down, I have him hold it for a couple of seconds, because a lot of times dogs, especially smaller dogs that are close to the ground, they'll cheat by just kind of hovering just so they can get the treat, and then they pop right back up again. So we want to make sure that he's in a good, solid down before you officially give him that treat. Yes. All right, Brutus, sit. Good, sit. Down. Down. Brutus, down. 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 Brutus. Down. 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 Okay. Struggling with it a little bit here. Sit. Good, sit. Brutus, down. Down. Good boy. Down. Good down. Good down, Brutus. Good down. Good down. Good boy. Okay. Now, it's really important that whenever he does a command, you reward him with, the treat if you're using treats, lots of praise and petting, and also that you use the command in the praise. It kind of helps reinforce it. So I'm telling him to down, he does the action, and then I reward him for a good down. So hearing it on both ends, and dogs understand good boy and praise like that, and hearing it with the word kind of helps them associate what they did with what you asked. And it's just kind of like the light bulb goes on and be like, oh, she told me to down, and she said good down when I did it. So it helps him out. So make sure you do that with all of your commands, any sits or roll over, heel, stay, good sit, good roll over, good heel, good stay, all of that. Good boy, Brutus. He is so adorable. Okay, Brutus, sit. So he is pretty good at his down, but we just want to do a lot of practice, just kind of over and over again, really repetitive, so that he really gets it in his mind, because he does resist a little bit, but he is good at it. So Brutus, sit, good sit, down, down, good down, good down, Brutus, good boy. That was the easiest one yet. He did a great job there. Good boy. Off. Sit. Sit. Good sit. Down. Down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. Good boy. Now what I did there is I pulled the treat away from him after he was in a down. That's because a lot of times they just follow the treat, and if you do pull the treat away to make sure he's in a really solid down there, it's important that you pull the treat out and then up. With almost all dogs, if you have him in the down and the treat's right in front of the nose, then you pull the treat up, they're going to follow it. So pull it out so it's kind of away from them a little bit more, so it's not quite as tempting, and then pull it up. Brutus, come here. Sit. 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 Down. Good down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. All right, I'm barely pressing on his withers at all. He's going right down. Down. Good down. Good boy, Brutus. Yes. Good boy. That was perfect. Absolutely no hands-on whatsoever. Good boy, Brutus. Sit. Down. Down. Good down. Good down, Brutus, boy. Good job. Good job. He is great to train. He is such a sweet little boy, and he is very eager to learn, too. That is absolutely wonderful to see. Good job, Brutus. Ready? Brutus. Down. Good down. Good down. Okay, there, instead of holding the treat between my fingertips and holding it out to him, I kind of had it in a fist and back like this, so he couldn't see the treat as much. Since he's definitely getting the hang of the command now, you want to start to work away from always using the treat. So this is kind of our first step. Instead of having it right here in front of him, it's back behind so he can't see it, smell, or taste it as well. Because treats can be a great training method, but you don't want a dog to become dependent on treats. So you want him to still do it even if you don't have any treats. So Brutus, come here. Sit. Good sit. Down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Sit. Down. Down. Good down. Good down. All right, he is doing great. Now that he has the hang of this, I can see that he's really eager to do it. He knows he's doing a good job. Good boy. boy. That time I didn't even bring the treat right up to him. I just brought my hand down. Now, eventually what we want to start working on is just telling him to down by going like this, and he downs, even when you're standing up way up here. So, Brutus, sit, down, down. Good down, Brutus. Good boy. So, because he is so small, we still are at the point of having to get down there on his level and help him out. But eventually, even though he is a short dog, you want to just be able to say Brutus down without you having to bend over and get down there at all, and for him to do it, which he is well on his way to that. He is doing an awesome job, and he definitely loves to please, so that's great. All right, this is Rachel and Brutus, and we are working on down.